Tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning telecast in Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. As we meet our starting goaltenders, Chief.
Well, Ben Bishop getting the start again. As you see there, the 27 wins and the goals against average, as well as the save percentage in the top 10 amongst goaltenders. Darcy Kemper has played in 13 games since he's been called up, and he's got pretty impressive numbers for a young rookie. John Cooper, the second year with the Lightning, first full season behind the bench. And Mike Yeo, in his third season with the Wild, took them to the playoffs last year, which they haven't had for a long time.
Mike Lego, Ian Walsh, the referees. Brian Mock, Brian Murphy are the linesmen. Mike Lego set to go and drop that puck between Nate Thompson and Mikael Granlund as the Lightning get control with Matt Carl and Radko Gudas on defense. The puck shot out of play. Ryan Malone, who's not a native of Minnesota, spent a lot of time here. J.T. Brown, who is a native of Minnesota, on the wings for Nate Thompson in the starting lineup tonight.
And that deflection by Malone almost got his former coach, Rick Wilson, behind the bench there.
Puck is sent into the Minnesota zone, and J.T. Brown with his speed in there after it. He knows this building quite well in his days with the University of Minnesota Duluth. And Granlund with a puck, playing it ahead for Parise. He stood up at the red line by Gudas, sliding it in deep, and Malone back for it. Matt Carl with a play to Thompson. Pass taken over by Jason Pominville. His top line out here for Mike Yeo, as he's got Granlund on a 5-game point streak. Pominville, their leading scorer, and Zach Parise, the number 1 star in the NHL this week with 8 points in 3 games. So the Lightning have to be very aware of them. Long pass, Matt Cook trying to hang on at the line, could not. The play's offside.
Well, let's take a look at the players not in action tonight. Steven Stamkos very close to being there. Cote, the only non-injured players. Wild have got a number of injuries as well. Mike Rupp, Stoner, and Fontaine are the healthy players not in uniform tonight for the Wild.
Filppula wins the face-off back to Victor Hedman. The puck is tipped to the corner, and Filppula after it in there. He's chased by Ryan Suter. Coming over to this team last year after 7 years with Nashville. Cook's pass played away by Hedman at the line. And it comes back to Jonas Brodin. Young Swede, as Chief mentioned, is 20 years of age. First-round pick in 2011. And what a team he and Suter have made here for the Wild. Teddy Purcell's pass deflected back toward the Lightning line, and Victor Hedman picking it up. He's watched by Cook. Hedman now at 10 points in his last 5 games. He's had 4 multiple-point games in that span. Charlie Coyle works the puck free and shoots, and it's steered wide. Puck played in behind the net. Sammy Salo bumped in there by Coyle. Danny Heatley couldn't center. Coyle, a big centerman, goes 220 pounds. His pass tipped by Hedman, and he prevented Heatley from getting the shot away, and the play is chased back to center. Marco Scandella on the Wild defense slides it in. Races onto that puck. Jason Zucker getting to it. Zucker out of Denver University, played for George Gwozdecki, Lightning assistant coach, and Scandella, after dumping the puck in, was hit, and he's shaken up and is being helped off to the Minnesota bench.
They got the trainer out there, but he's being helped, as you see there, by Zucker and Heatley. But the Lightning got to get going more north and south. They're trying to get those lateral passes. I think what happens is you see that he really caught a skate on the checker and really did the splits, and just really, it looked like it really might have either going to be a knee or a groin problem.
Mike Yeo's defense has been playing very, very well. In fact, Jared Spurgeon, coming off an ankle injury tonight, who said he had a tough time deciding who to sit out, and Clayton Stoner was the man who was put on the sidelines to accommodate Spurgeon's return, and that's how well 1 through 6 that defensive unit's been playing, including Scandella. Here's a pass across to Marty St. Louis. He steps into the zone, and he'll slide it back around where Pominville picks it up. In behind the net, Suter's pass knocked down by Mark Barbarian. St. Louis couldn't center. He's checked there by Granlund. Filppula out to the point to Barbario, shooting and reaching out was Kemper to deflect that away from St. Louis.
Hold. Oh, my goodness. They had a hold of Carl's stick behind the net there.
Filppula from back of the goal. St. Louis parked in front. They're looking for Malone as well, and the pass is by his stick. Gudas coming off the Lightning bench. Couldn't get it to it in time. He'll backhand it in, and Kemper there for it. Kemper playing 6 games last year in the regular season, was forced to play in a couple of games in their 5-game Stanley Cup series with the Chicago Blackhawks because of not only an injury to Nicholas Backstrom for the warm-up in Game 1, but also Josh Harding was sidelined, and Kemper had to step in.
Well, let's take a look at the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers. And, of course, the penalty kill is very important. The Lightning have done a pretty good job killing the last 12 in a row. And they've done very well as far as win-losses go. But a north-south game is imperative against this team. You see in the first 3.5 minutes that they kind of going east and west, and they had the puck stolen a few times. Got caught in an extra time on the line shift was Killorn and Purcell. North-south, use your speed, make these guys play whole 200 feet.
Well, we want to make sure that we say hello to all the Lightning fans at the watch party tonight at Jackson's Bistro on Harbor Island, presented by Bud Light. So hello to everybody over there at Jackson's. Looking in tonight, where it's considerably warmer, but it's been pleasant, Chief. We've been here for 3 days and no wind. It's been single digits at times, into the teens, but
well, we can walk 4 blocks without a hat, so that's a big treat right there.
That's as far as we can go.
That's all you can go. But still, that means before, and you're up in Canada now, you couldn't even walk 4 feet without a hat.
It'll be the Thunder and the Lightning game with your group, and save with a group ticket purchase. Groups of 20 or more get in at a discounted price, and the group leader gets 2 complimentary tickets to an upcoming game. Book your next group outing by calling 813-301-6900. Thompson leans into this face-off, and it's controlled by the Wild. Suter and Brodin on defense. Here's a shot into the skates of Keith Aulie. He couldn't find the puck. Nino Niederreiter does. Niederreiter, soon to play for the Swiss Olympic team, playing it back of the point. Brodin with a shot, and it's deflected wide. Niederreiter with a shot off the post. Bishop was down and out. His stick is now behind the net. And there was plenty of net to shoot for, but Niederreiter hit the goalpost. Suter in behind the net. Niederreiter coming across for it, the former Islander first-round pick, battling with Nikita Kucherov. Eric Brewer has it. Looks for relief, and Brodin holding it in. Pass now. There's a shot by Brodziak. A save by Bishop. Fights to make that save. He's got a stick. It's Keith Aulie's. As his goal stick's over in the corner, you see him picking it up. What's he going to do with Aulie's stick?
I think he's trying to hand it to the official.
Can't play with 2. Andre Palat. Hope Samuelson tried that once.
It didn't work.
No, that was at the Thunderdome against the Lightning when he was with the Rangers. Here's a shot by Tyler Johnson and a save by Darcy Kemper. Picked up by Marty St. Louis centers, and it's tipped right back to center ice. Victor Hedman. His pass picked off. Zach Parise walking in. He's trying to pick up a man late. The pass across. Parise with a shot. He sends it wide as Granlund found him with that pass. At top line coming up with an opportunity, but passing their way out of perhaps a better chance. Even though Parise had the open net, Chief, he had a little more time maybe.
Yeah, he did. He tried to shoot it right away and couldn't really get control of it. But
Bishop makes a save on Eric Howla. The fourth line center for the Wild as Purcell makes his way to center to dump it in. Alex Killorn, good speed in after the puck, shoved to the boards by Keith Ballard, and he's slow to get up. But Killorn able to skate to the bench. Here's a shot on goal by Stefan Bayou, former Lightning winger, and it's handled by Bishop for the whistle.
They're having a few words, Radko Gudas and Bayou, but here's that play, that quick save by Bishop. A nice save there, and Aulie just buries Niederreiter in the slot area, but here's that miss right there. He had it and just really went wide. He tried to get it inside the goalpost so that it wouldn't be shot back in towards where Bishop was coming from, and just got a little too wide.
Well, the best chances perhaps for the Wild don't even register as shots. Niederreiter off the post and Parise missing that side. And the Lightning fortunate to be 0-0 at the 6-minute mark. B.J. Crombie overskates the puck. Here come the Wild with Veilleux to center. As Veilleux will dump it in. It's been a healthy scratch for 6 games. Trying to add a little energy in that fourth line. Mike Yeo recognizing the Lightning's speed, and thus Mike Rupp sitting this one out. They've got Justin Fontaine missing the past couple of games because he's been ill. He was a teammate at UMD with J.T. Brown. So much emphasis on high school and college hockey here in the state of Minnesota, at the state of hockey. And JT very excited about coming back, as he expressed to you, Chief, in Lightning Live pregame.
Yeah, we were talking with him this morning, Rick, and he said he had to get a bunch of tickets. He was getting requests about a month ago, and he thought he'd better get it done early, not so he'd have to put up with today, the day of the game.
Thought he'd have to get about 20. He said he's had about 20, 25 messages through Facebook of people who were coming to the game. Jason Zucker steps into that zone. So he should have a pretty good-sized cheering section on hand here, growing up in the Burnsville, Rosemont, Apple Valley area south of the Twin Cities. J.T. Brown in there for the puck. Ballard, who hails from this area, or at least from the state of Minnesota. Coming back, here's a free agent. The pass across, and it's Brodin skating to center. Gets that red line. He'll bounce it into the Lightning zone, trying to bounce into the corner. It ends up in the glove of Ben Bishop, who has been solid, but he's been helped out. The goalpost coming to the rescue here. Folks around the NHL just learning about Andre Palat, but a guy who knows him very well is his head coach, John Cooper, who's had him in the American League as well as the NHL, and he was very proud of him being named Rookie of the month of January, as he told us earlier.
Tyler Johnson's got a lot of the fanfare, and deservedly so. So for Andre to pull that award out, there was a lot of good ribbing in the room. So I think Andre, everything Tyler Johnson's done, Andre, I think, has been every step with him, and it's you kind of wish they both could get recognized, but the fact that one did, it's awesome for him.
Well, Palat leading the Lightning at a +20, and did a lot of that leg work in the month of January, as well as some pretty good offense, Chief, and that's a part of his game sometimes that gets overlooked. St. Louis playing it out in front, deflected off the goalpost as it hit Darcy Kemper.
Yeah, you're right, Rick. I mean, we know him as a real solid defensive player, as witness to his +20, but he's just in the top 5 in scoring as well for rookies. And he's second in assists.
Minnesota going for a change here, and the Lightning will do likewise as St. Louis peels off now. Killorn coming on with Filppula, and the pass is out of the reach of Valtteri Filppula, results in an icing called against the Lightning.
Let's take a look at his numbers as you see what gave him the Rookie of the Month. 5 goals along with 16 points. That +13 is a real head turner. Now the average ice time is 18:49. The only guy that gets more ice time amongst forwards as a rookie is Tyler Johnson.
And all of that coming up because of the injury to Steven Stamkos. And Chief, now that Steven is targeted Saturday's game against the Red Wings, the one where he feels confident he can come back and start playing, you look at the 38 games he's missed. Lightning have had 45 points, which in the course of a season, if you start that way, you're in a playoff spot. Without Steven Stamkos, that's amazing. And the youngsters like Palat and Johnson deserve a lot of credit with the way they stepped up in there.
Exactly. I think you can't really minimize what these young guys have done, the ones that have come up here. And we talk a lot about the inexperience of these young players, but we haven't been playing like that.
Saved by Kemper, just dropped over his shoulder and wide on the shot by Filppula. Matt Carl fires, and that's blocked, and comes all the way back to Ben Bishop. Shots are 3 apiece as we hit the 9-minute mark here in this first period.
I'll tell you what, Rick, he's had 3 shots, and he has looked uncomfortable in all 3 of them. He's been pulled the last 2 starts, Kemper. And, he's been playing very, very well, but I think with 3 shots and 2 have come in the last 40 seconds.
St. Louis cuts into that zone. J.T. Brown with a long shot, turned aside by Darcy Kemper, who's 23 years old. Brown in front, shooting. Kemper came out to meet the shot and deflected away. He was a big part of that successful 9-4-1 month of January for the Wild that right now has them in the first wild card spot of the Western Conference, and that's pretty much their only hope to make the playoffs is the wild card. They're 12 points behind Colorado, their nearest competitor in the Central Division standings. So they are in a battle right now with Vancouver and a bunch of teams trying to catch them. Brewer sweeps that puck to center ice. St. Louis chipping it at the Minnesota line, knocked down by Crombeen. Brodin gets it back to center ice. Torrey Mitchell back in their lineup. Nate Prosser, one of the young defensemen who have stepped up here in the last few weeks for this team. Lightning turn things around. Crombeen fires, and it's gloved by Kemper. He'll hang on there with 9:38 to go in a scoreless first period here in Minnesota.
Well, J.T. Brown had a pretty good scoring chance, but it looked like he got clipped with a stick up in the top part of his lip. But they've been running the clock here at the building since they stopped to clean the ice and go away to commercial. And it's still running. It hasn't even stopped yet. I don't know what's going on here. They're finally getting the guys over here to talk to them. The officials coming over here, but the clock has run a good minute and 25 seconds off the clock so far.
Well, our Sun Sports graphic indicated, I believe, 9:38 was left in the period when play was halted. And Ian Walsh trying to get to the bottom of it. And they're reestablishing that. Wild very strong here at home. They've won their last 3 on home ice. Mike Yo's team 19-7-2 on the season. They had a pretty rugged month of January in terms of travel. Not to the extent the Lightning have had, but they're happy to be home, and the Lightning will be very happy to be home to host the Leafs on Saturday and the Red Wings the Leafs on Thursday and the Red Wings on Saturday. Puck chipped by Brodin in a dangerous spot. It was chopped to center by Bronziak. He gets the puck back again and throws it to the corner. Tyler Johnson kicks the puck free. Marty St. Louis fires it across in front of his own net to Andre Palat. Back out to Tyler Johnson. Trailed by St. Louis, gets the pass, had it knocked free by Cook.
Well, the Lightning had just one shot in the first 8:50 of play, Rick. And in 48 seconds, they had 5.
Palat. To St. Louis in the slot, shooting, and a save by Kemper. Marty was so anxious to let that shot go. The pass was kind of slow in getting to him, but he was that wide open and was able to drill it on goal. Ballard back for it. He's on for the moment with Suter. Last year led the NHL in average ice time at over 27 minutes, and he's well over 29 minutes a game leading this season. Teddy Purcell has it. Moves it out to Filppula. Pass knocked down by Ballard at the line. Kyle Granlund coming back for it. First round pick from a few years ago. They've been waiting for him to start to develop, and recently he has. That month of January, a big month for him. And he's filling in for the injured captain of this team, Mikko Koivu, who's scheduled to be Finland's captain in the Olympics if he can go. He's been battling problems returning from a broken ankle and is still skating on his own. They've only got 1 game left. That's Thursday against Nashville here before the Olympic break. Granlund. Carl takes over for the Lightning.
Minnesota doesn't score a lot of goals. They've got to really play that tight defensively, and they're ranked 10th defensively in the league. Lightning are 8th.
Out in front, Nikita Kucherov with a try that's knocked down. Charlie Coyle comes away with it. His pass ends up on Salo's stick. Sammy gets it back. Salo scoring his only goal of the season to finish off a 3-1 win over the Wild at the Tampa Bay Times Forum back on October the 17th. And now he's got to wait for Johnson to get back on side. Salo on for the moment with Brewer. Salo's pass across for J.T. Brown. Johnson circles with it. Jared Spurgeon back after missing 14 games with an ankle injury. Back there for the puck, former teammate of Tyler Johnson on the 2008 Memorial Cup champion Spokane Chiefs.
Yeah.
Two little guys who've been overlooked to start their pro careers, but are now certainly well on their way to establishing themselves as outstanding players in this league. Brian Malone, the pass across to Crombie.
It's a little more difficult for smaller defensemen like Bergeron to play in this league with all the size up front of most of these forwards. You got to be able to really have quick hands and quick stick.
Malone around the net of the wraparound, stopped by Kemper, and he covers that puck for the whistle. We believe Lightning can strike twice. We believe in family traditions. We believe only one place can turn superstars into legends. Tickets on sale now at Daytona500.com.
Well, we've seen Brian Malone score a lot of goals with this play here, but when you get these tall goalies and you got that Kemper going about 6'3", they get that long leg over there very quickly, and it's pretty tough to get it underneath them.
Carl's pass deflected by Cook. Out comes Niederreiter. Gudas matching up with him. And Gudas able to reach around with one hand of the stick and play the puck away. They're going to pile up ensuing behind the net. With Cook involved, to no one's surprise, out comes Palat to center. And he barrels through a check into the zone. Lost the handle on the puck, though, and Prosser has it. He's pursued by St. Louis. Palat gets it back. Wrapped up by Suter. Zach Parise, the captain of Team USA for the Olympics, and Ryan Suter will be one of the alternates. And a broken stick lands on the ice over in that corner. Salo gets to the puck, sends it in front, and it's tipped by Prosser just over the net as Kemper was reaching up to make sure that wasn't headed toward his goal. Prosser from center will flip it to the corner. Salo challenged in there by Granlund. They'll be teammates on Team Finland. Filppula to center. Killorn cuts inside. Feeding it now to Purcell. Back to Purcell. Gonna step in front. He couldn't get around Mikhail Granlund, and here comes Parise breaking in behind. Hedman shoots. Saved by Bishop. Parise gets it back. Trying to dart in front for a backhand stuff attempt, and he's stopped there by Bishop. Just under 5 minutes to go. Great save by Ben Bishop here on Zach Parise. And he keeps it scoreless here in Minnesota.
Well, we're scoreless in this first period, but Zach Parise got a bona fide break. He watches their plays here. Now what happens is, you go wide there, you see Hedman's going to be right here. He's going to go this way. Now look at Barberio. He went up deep. And now it's the breakaway. As you see come here, Hedman is just harassing him, not really allowing him to get comfortable with that breakaway, as you see there. Parise was wondering why no hooking call, but nonetheless, Bishop making a real nice play, and that's what he's talking about right now. You got to be careful when that one defenseman on that side is a little deep. The guy on the offside has to stay back a little bit.
Wild hold it in for the faceoff. Granlund. Barberio stepped in there to try to deny Parise. He ends up with a puck, trailed now by Brewer. Parise's pass reaching Granlund. Ballard forced to keep it on the outside. He does to Pominville. He was picked up from Buffalo in a big trade at the deadline last year. Malone flips that puck to center. Crombie will pressure Ballard. Parise in the quick up now to Granlund, in for Pominville. Pominville with a shot, and it's tipped away by Carl. Parise met there by Brian Malone. Gudas with it. Couldn't get it by Pominville. And he is sent into the boards by Gudas. A penalty upcoming. Boarding will be the call to Radko Gudas, their first penalty of the hockey game, and it comes here at 15:55.
Boarding will be the call. And Minnesota's
number 7, 2 minutes for boarding.
The power play isn't bad. It's not the greatest one in the world. It's when you take a look at it, it's right in just a little bit below the middle of the pack. But the first penalty will go to the Lightning. Lightning out shooting Minnesota 9-5 at this point.
Toyota power play chance for the Wild, and Ballard watched by Nate Thompson. Pass across, the shot by Spurgeon. They score! Bishop made the save on the first shot. And it was jammed in by Niederreiter in the goal mouth. And Minnesota opens the scoring.
They win the draw. They get it back. A nice pass here. Watch this shot right here. Right away, Ben Bishop makes a nice play. But nobody blocks out Niederreiter as he just got good position in front of the net, as you see there. Got really good position on Salo and was able to tuck it behind. And the power play has connected for the first goal of the game. Their second shot. And it's 1-0 Minnesota.
Didn't take long for Spurgeon to get back in and contribute. Minnesota now has scored power play goals in 4 consecutive games, and that ends the string of 12 straight kills by the Lightning penalty killing unit. Brodziak leaving that puck for Brodin. His pass tipped by Johnson. Lightning trying to answer here quickly, something they've been able to do for much of this season. Barberio has to chase down the pass, and Torrey Mitchell speeding after him. But the Lightning leave the zone, and here comes St. Louis. Dropping it. Johnson with it. Back for St. Louis. Slides it back of the goal. Cook takes it. Taken away by Palat as Cook didn't see him coming, but it's chipped out of the zone.
Zucker will get the second assist on that power play goal. He's the one that fed that nice pass over to Spurgeon.
Lightning pulled back to complete a change. Killorn stepping on as well as Filppula as Heatley tips the puck in. Bishop out to play the puck, and Speedy Zucker's in on him. It's played in front. Coyle steals, and a shot on goal is saved by Bishop. The puck chopped away. And Filppula moving it now to Victor Hedman on the attack. Swings it and shoots, and it's gobbled up by Kemper. He'll get a whistle. Just a reminder to stay tuned later in the telecast for your Chevrolet moments in Lightning history.
Well, it's kind of unlikely that you watch the goaltender. He was really struggling to find that Kemper at the start. Then he started to make some really good saves. Now he makes a little thing. He's a young guy. He's only played 13 games this year. Not a whole lot in his whole career as far as NHL is concerned.
Well, that's an example, Chief, exactly what Mike Yeo was talking about yesterday with regard to Kemper, is that playing all these games in a row, Josh Harding having problems getting settled in with new medication to treat his multiple sclerosis, and Nicholas Backstrom, who is healthy enough to back up, hasn't fully gotten back from a sports hernia injury, and he's had to play the games. And Mike Yeo says it's a growing moment for him here. He's got to buckle down and take on the responsibility. He says in the course of a game, you've got to find your confidence. And it seems like that's exactly what you're talking about there. He's finding his confidence. Spurgeon out in front, playing it off the boards, and it reaches Parise.
You know, and what happens too, and it puts a little pressure on your D or your forwards coming back, because they're the ones that have to really help out with the rebound opportunities. The young goaltenders will give out rebounds, so you got to make sure that you got a D man there to help eliminate that problem.
Gudas and Veilleux in a big collision along the boards. Yeo has felt that his defense didn't have a good game against Calgary. Now Veilleux with a penalty upcoming takes a shot at Gudas, and Brian Murphy separates them. And we might have more than one penalty called here. Let's see. Because there was an original call, and then Lego, who was out at center ice, indicated a penalty. Let's see what they come up with.
Minnesota number 19, minor penalty cross-check.
He was getting it when he got hit with a good, solid check. Right there. And then watch this one right here. Here's the check right here. Cross-checking. And the guy wasn't going to call a penalty until the very end when he had to cross-checked him twice. We've seen St. Louis slash broken stick. We saw Matt Carl with that Brodin grabbing a hold of the stick in the corner in the early part of the game. I guess they're on a quota system.
Lightning getting this power play going. First chance for them. St. Louis and Filppula handle it. Filppula gets to the pass. Tyler Johnson with him. Purcell on the boards. Victor Hedman up top. on this number 1 unit. The pass tipped. It's deflected in front and cleared by Suter. That pass was tipped and redirected in front to try to save the play. And the Wild are able to clear it out. Under a minute to go here in the period. Lightning on the season 17%, 20th best on the power play. And the Wild just over 80% of the kill, 22nd in the rankings. St. Louis gets to that puck. Taken over by Mitchell, and he'll backhand it down the ice. Shots 10-8 Lightning with a 1-0 lead. The puck left. It's taken now by Cook, who, when he hasn't been serving his own penalties, Chief's been a pretty good penalty killer in his career.
He's always been a really good penalty killer. He's a very tenacious checker out there. He lugs a lot of ice time as shorthanded.
Johnson.
Lightning haven't got their mindset yet. They're kind of like a little foggy right now.
St. Louis down low. Wild take that play away. Salo across. Purcell feeds it back to St. Louis. It's off his skate. Dives to save it. Salo with it. He'll shoot. And it hit Johnson. Ballard trying to clear it out. That hit Salo, but time runs out here in this first period. Still time left on the penalty. As we look at our menu for the first intermission, brought to you by Honda. Ryan Malone will join Paul Kennedy and Dave Andrechuk. Back in our studio, we'll have a look back at the Bolts and Bulls golf outing. Very important event held at Avila Country Club. Always fun there. Highlights and stats coming your way as well. Tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning telecast in Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Welcome back to the XL Energy Center here in downtown St. Paul, the capital city of the state of Minnesota. The Lightning trailing 1-0 after one, and Chief Minnesota was able to capitalize on their power play chance. The goal coming 9 seconds after it started, and the Lightning still have 27 seconds left to go on their opportunity.
Yeah, their power play, they got a good zone time, I thought, Rick, but they didn't really get too many shots away on their goaltender. But one of the things I think we kind of missing about is the fact that they're, I think, a little bit cobwebby. You know, they haven't really got their clear thinking yet. They haven't got their feet moving as much as possible. And I think you're going to see a much better second period here.
Well, the Lightning still with 27 seconds left on the Veilleux cross-checking penalty to start second period action. And the same unit that finished the first period starting the second period with Purcell, St. Louis, Hedman, Johnson, and Filppula. Spurgeon getting to that puck. Turns and sails it down the ice. Minnesota on the kill. They've taken care of 13 of the last 14 times short. So their special teams has been a little better. Veilleux out of the box. And the Wild kill that penalty. Spurgeon now under check. Played by Granlund to center. Taken by Hedman. He couldn't get it by Mikael Granlund. Skating in, it's Johnson. Playing it to Filppula, and he rockets it by the glove of Darcy Kemper. Filppula trying to get it out in front. Granlund all over him. For the point, Gudas with a try. That's knocked down by Ryan Suter. The ever-efficient Wild defenseman playing it to Spurgeon. Suter with a pass ahead for Granlund. Worked free by Malone. And Crombie controls it for the Lightning. He'll lift it back in the zone. And Crombie the first one in there for it. Playing it around the boards. It's shoveled back to Carl by his stick. Jason Pominville with a head start, racing for it. Radko Gudas got over there in good shape. He runs into his man. The pass in front. Granlund with a backhand. It's stopped by Bishop, who stepped out of the goal mouth to meet that shot. Mikael Granlund with a 5-game point streak, trying to add to it there, and he was robbed.
Well, this whole line has been tremendous for them, and, you know, Granlund is substituting for Nico Koivu, as you pointed out, Rick. And they've had a number of pretty good opportunities, and they've been a big factor in the success that they've had lately. 5 games, they've picked up 22 points, 8 goals of those 22 points of that trio. And they really need to rely on them to get things going. It's much the same as what Andrechuk was talking about, getting Marty St. Louis, Tyler Johnson, and Andre Palat back on the score sheet as well.
Ballard, a quick shot off a face-off win and a save by Bishop. Zucker has it, beating the point. Ballard again. This time he'll contained the play as he dumped it to the corner. Danny Heatley. Zucker with a shot. Blocker saved by Bishop. Rebound comes right back to him, and he covers it up. And the Lightning protecting that front of the net. Let's have a look at tonight's Chase review from the first period.
Well, as you take a look at the Lightning out shooting the North Stars, the Wild, I knew I was going to wait till the third period to come up with that one instead of the Wild. But power play 1-for-1, the big difference there. The face-offs, the Lightning were 72% on the draws in that first period. And I can recall when the last time they dominated a face-off circle to that extent.
Yeah, Danny Grant with the goal from J.P. Parise. And
yeah, well, yeah, right.
Bill Goldsworthy.
There you go.
There's J.P. Parise, the father of Zach, a favorite of North Star fans here in the Twin Cities for a long, long time. And, of course, a member of the Islanders in his career. Alex Killorn checked in that corner. It's knocked behind the net. Heatley after it. He'll bounce it to center and reaches the stick of Zucker cutting in. Backhands it wide. Center's in front. Killorn got position on Coyle. Charlie Coyle out of Boston University wheels it in front. Trying to hand it off to Suter. He backhands into a crowd. It's deflected away to the corner. And Killorn checked by Heatley. Chopped ahead to Filppula. Keith Auley steps ahead with a puck, and he'll dump it in. Suter has it. Spurgeon and Suter bring it ahead. Passed out of Brodziak in the slot, shooting a great save by Bishop there as he kicked out the left leg. Brewer wrapped up by Brodziak. Cook taps it behind the net. St. Louis moving it quickly to Palat. Barberio ahead for St. Louis, flying through center, leaving it for Johnson. He's waiting for Palat to join the play. It's tapped in front, knocked down by Brodin. You wonder how much these two guys play. Brodin played better than 10 minutes in the first period. Suter played better than 12 minutes in the first period. Cook turns away from Brewer. Back out to Prosser. It's taken side of the goal. Granlund hooks it on goal, and Bishop strong there to make the save. Barberio steps away from Cook.
Ben's going to sue these guys for non-support if they don't get their act together in their zone.
Palat trying to get it in deep is able to, as the Wild coming out with 5 quick shots here in the first 4 minutes. Icing the call against Minnesota.
Well, it's another breakaway that Minnesota had. Again, the Lightning getting caught flat-footed. Right there, he tried to go to the backhand. I don't know what that kick-up was going to be, but then this one here was a tremendous save after a nice three-way passing play from the Wild, and then this one a wraparound that was dangerously close to trying to find that far side. But 3 really good scoring chances and 2 shots on net.
Kucherov with a shot, and it's blocked by Prosser, and it ends up in the crowd. Well, tonight's telecast of Tampa Bay Lightning hockey is brought to you in high definition by H.H. Gregg. Lightning 2-5 all time here at the XL Energy Center. Obviously not a place we've come to very often since the Wild joined the NHL in 2000. But once again, Chief, we're seeing Bolts jerseys and paraphernalia in a road city.
I think it's all J.T. Brown's family.
Icing the call again. Of course, that jersey is Stamkos' jersey, and that guy's going to be happy to see Steven in the lineup, hopefully Saturday night as the Lightning host the Red Wings. That's what he's targeting to come back. He's been progressing in terms of the level of the battle drills and things he's involved with physically to try to get back.
Yeah, we were kind of happy to get out of Canada so you can get rid of all that media, and it was unbelievable. And then there's
Here's a save by Kemper, a try by Kucherov, a puck just laying there in the slot, and he knew what to do with it.
Yeah.
Fire it toward the net.
I was just going to say they had a reporter drive 8 hours from Winnipeg to come down and interview him. But there's that shot, face-off. And, you know, one of the things when you take a look at it, the Lightning controlling that face-off circle, 72% winning number in that first, but it was the lost face-off that resulted in the only goal on the power play. This one here, they almost had a chance to tie the game here. Kucherov getting in
Hedman with a shot knocked down by Kemper as he was jostled by Brown in coming by the front of the net. On Filppula's face-off win, he worked extra hard to get that one, kicking it back to Hedman. Filppula leading it for Victor Hedman. Hedman now 7th in defenseman scoring in the NHL with 36 points. Granlund muscled there by Brown. They fired across. Ballard open. He shoots, and it's blocked in front as Brown takes it. Couldn't get it out. Dug free by Pominville. He's checked by Kucherov. Ballard in behind to Parise. He's matched up there with Salo. Keeps the play moving to Granlund. And Brown pins him effectively in the end boards. Puck worked free. Pominville got it in front, taken over by Brown, and the Lightning busted out. Quick 2-on-1, but it's broken up by Ballard. Brown gets it back. Hands it now to Filppula, shooting a save by Kemper and almost snuck through his pads, but he squeezes him for the whistle. Let's have a look at the Lightning's road ahead, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, the Lightning will head out right after this game here to head back to Tampa. As you see that, Thursday the Leafs are in town, and then Saturday, the last game before the Olympic break, Detroit comes to town. And then right after the Olympic break, the Lightning go back on the road again. And I understand Willie Nelson's making that trip with us to Nashville, Rick. And as we go and leave the Tampa airport, he's going to be singing on the road again.
All right, you'll have just enough time to get your clothes to the cleaners over the Olympic break. Get repacked, ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be, with Lightning have been on the road 9 days. It'll be when they finally get back tomorrow late afternoon after, or late this morning rather, I should say early morning. But they're off for that while, and then they go back on the road again for another 5 or 6 days, if I'm not mistaken, after Olympic.
Now, after that trip, Chief, then they'll have 14 of the final 20 at home. You knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah, it's they have 11 games after tonight, 11 games left on the road. And you only have 6 after that. So
from the face-off comes to the point, and Brodin will play it down the boards. Aula out of the University of Minnesota, but born in Finland, working on this fourth line, number 56. Hedman takes over on the puck. Plays it off the boards. Couldn't get it up the boards. Bayou works against him, and finally Tampa Bay able to force that play out of the zone. Spurgeon drives it around. Crombie got a step on his man Mitchell to make contact with that puck. Ollie lobs it back inside the Wild line. Puck took a right turn. Crombie with Thompson in front finds him, and it's off Kemper's pads. Crombie gets it back. He finds Barberio shooting, and a save by Darcy Kemper. Malone playing it back behind the net. Thompson held up by Brodin, but keeps moving. Thompson centers just by the stick of Crombie, and the try by Brewer. He misfires, and the Wild take over. Pass for Mitchell is through his skates. Barberio has it. He'll lob it back out to center. Crombie trying to control it for Malone. Lightning changing up. Brodziak. Niederreiter scoring his 10th goal on that power play goal on the rebound in the first period. Brodziak had the puck chopped away by Barberio, and here comes Johnson. Lead pass. They miscommunicated, he and St. Louis. And the puck ends up in the hands of the Wild defense. Prosser in for Niederreiter. Turns away from a check. Lobs it rink wide for Coyle. Don't see too many centermen wearing number 3. Niederreiter has it. Out to the point to Suter. Steps around a sliding Johnson. Now wrists it into a crowd. It's blocked by Eric Brewer as he tied up Cook and made the block. Cook flipping it to the corner. Coyle after it. Barberio pinning Niederreiter. Coyle comes by for the puck. Taken over by Johnson. Long session for the Wild in that Lightning zone. Palat to center. Zucker bounced off him. Puck dribbled wide. Ryan Suter has it. Rifles the pass ahead for Jason Zucker. Beaten to it now by Bishop. And it's chopped free for Alex Killorn. Filppula swings into the zone. Leaves it. Hedman drives it. Pad save by Kemper. Personal shot is stopped by Kemper. Good chance in the rebound, and speedy Jason Zucker back for the Wild. Leans in. Down he goes. Gudas pins him against the boards. It's centered in front, and Filppula picked it off. He's checked by Granlund. Gudas finds Killorn on left wing. Backhands it behind the net. Filppula jousting there with Brodin. Purcell back out to Gudas. Tries the shot. It's off the foot of Heatley. Mikael Granlund coming back for it, leaving it on the boards. Matt Carle, a strong play. Purcell handing it now to Gudas. Looks for the shot, takes it. Stick save by Kemper. Puck played up the boards and out of the zone.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Ballard's got a hold of Killorn's stick, and they've had a couple of times where they just grabbed that guy's stick in front of the net, and they haven't been called on it. Oh,
Bishop took one off the mask from Zach Parise and is shaken up a little stunned as play is halted. Mike Lego checking on him, the referee. And we'll be back to check on the condition of Ben Bishop, who took this one right in the forehead off the stick of Parise.
Well, if you want to know how hard guys shoot, just take a look at this replay. And this is the one that he takes that quick shot, and it came up really quickly. It rose very fast and clipped right up the top of the head of it. You see it right there, coming right up and just hitting him right above the eyebrows. And that's Foxmo there. You can really get a good idea of that. And you're really set for that shot. When it's coming at you, it doesn't look as fast as it does when it's at the side. But when it rises that quickly, it's almost like you're looking fastball and you get a curveball, and this is an upshoot.
Chief, the way they make those helmets now, they bevel them so that the puck will deflect in many cases. That one didn't. That was right on target.
Yeah, they have sort of like a glancing blow, and that's that one went right on top. Right now, Minnesota's utilizing the ice much better than the Lightning, and they've been getting that off-winger sprung loose.
Out in front, Bishop lost his stick, makes a save on Pominville as he tried to sweep the puck away and lost his goal stick. That's happened a couple of times in this game. Pominville tripping at the side of the goal, looking back to see if he can get a call on Bishop. Well, the puck is backhanded by Johnson to center.
Minnesota's just quicker to the puck right now, Rick, and they're outworking the Lightning when they do get there.
St. Louis and a steal from Suter. Steps in, dropping it back for Johnson. He was well covered from the start on that play. Palat. His pass taken over by Niederreiter. Bouncing it to the corner. Bishop set to play it. Sweeps it along to Brewer. And Keith Ballard back for it. Midway through this second period, still a 1-0 score. The power play goal by Nino Niederreiter. Former top 5 pick of the Islanders a few years back. He was picked up for Cal Clutterbuck in the offseason. We just saw him recently with the Islanders in town. Here comes J.T. Brown speeding in against Ballard. Leans in, trying to get the shot on goal. Couldn't finish the move. Collided with Kemper. The pass in front. Filppula. Great move. Deflected by Kemper as he got it off his stick. Covers the puck and gets a whistle. Now Brown gets grabbed in that goal mouth by Brodziak.
Well, he's been pretty solid in there, the young kid in goal, whenever he's had to.
Welcome back to Minnesota as the Wild leading 1-0. And let's answer our LRE trivia question. Which current Team USA hockey player is a father who was part of the last team to win Olympic gold for the USA in hockey? And it's Ryan Suter, as we mentioned, one of the alternate captains. His dad Bob was on the Miracle on Ice team from 1980, and his uncle Gary, got a mention earlier tonight, former Calgary Flame. He was on Team USA in 2002, played in 1998 as well for Team USA.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's certainly getting his ice time. 27 times he's played 30 or more minutes. Ryan Suter, wow. If you're a left-handed shooting defenseman or a left defenseman, I wouldn't want to be on his team. You wouldn't get much ice time.
Granlund with the wrist shot. It's blocked in front. And Kucherov controls for the Lightning. Nikita with a couple of chances here in this second period. Brown had the puck taken away at the defense by Brodin, who's now playing with Prosser. Jonas Brodin hounded in there. Kucherov with speed, getting on that puck, playing it back to Filppula. Cut off by Granlund. Parise back out to Mikael Granlund. In the zone for Pominville. He's open to shoot. He fires a save by Bishop. And Bishop has had many a strong moment in the second period. He's had to be with the open shots he's faced.
Boy, they've had a lot of really good chances. That one kind of deflected off of Carl. Not a great deal. And they were fortunate that it deflected back towards Bishop and not away from him. 20 shots from both teams. And Minnesota's had much the better scoring chances.
Arakawa centering his fourth line for Mike Yeo. Puck played by Mitchell to the corner. Crombie peels back to take it. Gudis lofts the backhand pass ahead for Thompson. Knocked down with a high stick by Veilleux to a teammate. That's blown dead. With 8:31 to go in the second period.
Well, it's time now to take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, and take a look at the average ice time since the 2000-2001 season. And you can see where Ryan Suter's at, just under 30 minutes, and there's a number of players there. There was a time when 33, 34, 35 minutes a game for a defenseman was fairly common. I can remember Mark Howe averaging close to 36 minutes a year or so in Philadelphia in the 80s.
Barberio with a shot. It's deflected wide. Yeah, he used to pair with the late Brad McCrimmon. Mike Keenan never let him off the ice, those two.
Mike Keenan would shorten the bench after the first period. He'd play with 3.
Brewer hounded by Haula. Getting to it, it's Mitchell. Worked back at the point. Here's a shot by Prosser. Slowed down and broke the blade off Malone's stick. And he's stuck out there for the moment. Long change here in the second period. Now he can go to the bench as Barberio sails one into the bench. And Steve Thomas had to duck out of the way of that one. The Tampa Bay Storm under new head coach Lawrence Samuels kick off the 2014 season in March. For a limited time, when you purchase 2 full season ticket plans, you get 2 more free. Order now at TampaBayStorm.com or by calling 813-301-6600.
Yeah,
Perfect timing from our crew.
It was. He just, as you'd see him, he was feeling his ear. It might have just grazed his ear. That shot coming flying through there. And that was just a play that just shows you you're kind of out of sync when you're trying to get a pass there and, fire it into your drone bench.
Niederreiter checked along the board. St. Louis trying to pry the puck loose. Palat got it loose, but into the hands of Brodziak. Niederreiter couldn't get the shot away. It was tipped by Keith Aldi, who got there in time. And the pass in the leg of St. Louis as the Lightning continue to try to find their rhythm in this hockey game.
They haven't had much time and space out there. Minnesota's been really all over them. That they've had control of the puck, and they've made good entries into the Lightning zone, and then when they've tried to come out, they haven't been able to.
Brodziak drawing a hooking penalty here at 12:51. Lightning will be shorthanded for the second time in this game. Tyler Johnson heads off.
Tampa penalty number 92 is for hooking.
Well, we talked about the penalty kill being one of the keys to the game, and so far it's 1 for 1 on the power play for Minnesota. This is their second chance. It's going to be a real key part right now, and a big penalty kill. Lightning struggling to get any kind of really good scoring chances. Unless the floodgates open, this is going to be a very important penalty kill for the Lightning.
Minnesota scored 9 seconds into their first opportunity. Toyota power play chance here for the Wild. Pominville back to Suter. In the slot, it's deflected by Brown. JT gets to it. He'll speed ahead. Overlead Nate Thompson. And the Lightning will get a partial change shorthanded as Suter turns the net. Granlund dropping it off. Suter gets it back. Filppula now in the shorthanded unit, along with Palat, as they work as the forwards. Pominville for the one-timer, and he blasts it wide off the feed from Parise. Comes back to Suter. Cal Granlund playing it now to Suter. Pominville with it. Out in front, jammed on goal. Bishop, a stop there in Parise. Granlund getting it back.
Well, if you want to watch how to play in front of the net on a power play, just watch Zach Parise. He's very hard to move out of there, and he gets great body position.
Suter around for Pominville. 44 seconds to go in the power play. They work it around to Parise in the slot. Play well covered, and Suter has it once again. Rifled back to Parise, handing it to Granlund. He'll take that shot, and it's blockered away by Bishop. Suter wristing it into a crowd, deflected as Heatley, a big body in front, got a piece of that. 22 seconds to go on the penalty. Granlund settles down the puck from in tight, playing it back. Suter gets to it to save it. Pominville with the wrist shot. Glove by Bishop as Heatley was looking to tip that one and just missed. 12 seconds to go on the penalty to Johnson.
Well, they've got good zone time. They're not really getting a lot of action. That one shot, that first one he had a really good leg pad save on it. But they've been moving the puck well, quite well. Picked up 2 shots on the man advantage.
Nate Thompson on this draw against Coyle. Lightning get control. Brewer battles to get his stick free. And Marty St. Louis will slide the puck down the ice. St. Louis and Thompson in front of Brewer and Salo as Johnson leaves the box. Tampa Bay at full strength. Still trailing 1-0. 5 minutes to go in the second period. Brewer trying to play that puck up the boards. Comes right back down to him. His pass tipped now by Zucker. Salo. Brewer ahead to Thompson. Relay to Johnson. Cutting in. He shoots. Glove save by Darcy Kuemper. And he'll hang on. Lightning got the play they wanted, but Kuemper foils Johnson to keep it 1-0. The Tampa Bay area BMW Centers want to remind you to tune in Thursday as the Lightning return home with a matchup against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. at Lightning Live, presented by the Tampa Bay area BMW Centers. Lightning losing a tough one in Toronto to start this trip 9 days ago, and a chance for revenge. Only the second meeting between these two teams this season. Don't know if Wendell Clark or Doug Gilmour will be there, Chief. They're certainly happy about the matchup, though.
Yeah, they are. Well, young Kuemper, though, Rick, this is his 11th consecutive start, which is a franchise record. I think the last time a rookie started consecutive games, the record was 4. So he's in his 11th straight right now. He's playing very well at that point.
Purcell. Pass deflected by Mitchell. Scooped up by Killorn. You can see a 5-man picture there with a Wild back defensively. Howla trying to get it out. He'll drop it back to his defense. Lightning, though, down 1-0 here. 4 minutes to go in the second period. They've not a team, Chief, that loses patience in a game.
Yeah, that's been a big difference on a lot. Now they're getting Bishop's done a really good job of keeping them in there. They've had a lot of really good chances here in the second period, real good chances, and he's shut the door on them.
Play held in. Heatley feeding it across. There's a shot. It's fired over the shoulder of Bishop as Brodin stepped in for the blue line. He switched over to play the left side in order to play with Prosser, who's the only right-hand shot they've got there. Here's Kucherov shooting, and it's blocked by Prosser. Usually Brodin plays the right side with Suter on the left. The puck centered by Kucherov, and it's taken over by Coyle. His pass tipped by Malone. Prosser getting it back into the hands of Heatley, who has struggled this year coming back from shoulder surgery. Gets the drop pass. Sweeps in front. Has the puck. Sends it on goal. Saved by Bishop. Rebound backhanded into Bishop by Coyle. And we get a battle now at the side of the goal with Crombeen going at it. In behind Ben Bishop, who is prone in front of the net. Once again, they had the top half of the net to shoot for, but Coyle slid it right back into the Lightning goaltender. And it's Jason Zucker involved in this scuffle with Crombeen.
shot coming in. It was right there. They're trying to get that puck. And he grabbed a hold of it, and I think what happened is that when he was trying to poke it loose, that's when Crombie went after him, and Zucker ended up knocking Crombie down over top of his goaltender. So there's the save. They couldn't get it up there as Charlie Coyle trying to get that in. Roughing will be most likely the calls here. It'll come at 16:58. Has somebody called a timeout here?
Over at the Wild bench, Mike Yeo in a discussion with Lego. And now he's putting his players on the ice.
Well, might as well have got he got a free timeout there.
His players got a little breather as he was discussing things with Lego. And Filppula wins the faceoff back to Carl. Down they go.
Minnesota number 16, Jason Zucker. Each 2 minutes, roughing time of the penalty, 16:58. From Bean of the Lightning, Zucker of the Wild. Broken minor, 16:58.
Carl to center, sliding it out of St. Louis, cuts into that zone. Back to Carl, joins the attack. His shot is wide as Filppula getting it back to Gudas. St. Louis able to get that puck across to Filppula, and he's dumped. Both team down him in here with the roughing calls to Crombie and Zucker. Charlie Coyle dropped to the ice, was able to make that play to Spurgeon, and away come the Wild. Here comes Parise ahead for Spurgeon, cuts in, and he's stopped by Bishop.
Shots are even, but I think if you take a look at the scoring chances, that's got to be heavily favored in Minnesota's favor. There's a nice little flip pass, and he's just coming in there. Big Ben just making sure he had the right position on the shooter and not a whole lot of room to put the puck through him.
Johnson digs in here against Granlund on this faceoff. 1:15 to go in the 4-on-4. Lightning get control. Hedman wheels it out. Palat with him. Palat cutting in. Makes the play to Barberio. His shot is blocked in front. Gets it again. It's blocked in front. Either puck reaching Darcy Kemper. Now Tyler Johnson not putting any weight on that left leg as he hobbles to the Lightning bench. Kyle Granlund stick handling through center. Cuts into the zone. Playing it now for Brodin, trying to get organized here. Pominville's pass tipped by Killorn, bouncing to the line and out. And Alex Killorn, along with Palat, into that zone. Killorn slams on the brakes, turns, fires, and he sends it wide. Hedman with it. Pressured by Pominville, got it back in behind the net. Killorn right on Jonas Brodin. Pass ahead for Pominville, joined by Granlund. Salo keeps an eye on him. Carl in for the puck. Purcell held up on the line by Prosser. Still has the puck. Sliding it over to Salo. Winding. Shoots, and a save by Kemper. That was tipped by Carl. The penalized players are back on, and the teams are at full strength with under a minute to go in the second period. Purcell's pass. He gets it back. Parise right on him. Now Ballard steps into Teddy Purcell. Lightning maintain control. Killorn trying to move out in front. Centers in front, and Ballard's attempt to clear hit Purcell. Controlled by the Lightning with Crombie. Back to Carl. Gudas kept it on the line. Pass deflected by Parise, and here's Ballard getting it out to Zach Parise into that zone, leaving it. Zucker with it. Back to Parise. Out of his reach. Chased down by Gudas. Thompson playing it ahead off the skates of Crombie. 13 seconds to go here in the period. Crombie plays it behind Thompson. Suter angles it back. Gets it to Matt Cook. He steps in. He'll fire. And it's blocked by Gudas. Here in the closing moments of the period, Gudas throws the hit as the second period comes to an end. And the linesmen keep the peace there with Minnesota continuing with that 1-0 lead. Here's what's coming up in our Honda second intermission report. Valtteri Filppula will join Paul and Dave Andreychuk back in the studio. We'll have scores and highlights from the games around the league tonight. And highlights and stats of this game here in St. Paul. We're at the XL Energy Center. The shots unofficially 22 apiece. For the difference on the scoreboard, a goal by Nino Niederreiter on the power play in the first period as the Wild in front 1-0. Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey and Sun Sports has been brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Checkers, feast on. And by GMC. See the all-new 2014 Sierra 1500 at your greater Tampa area GMC dealer. Welcome back to St. Paul, where the homestanding Wild have a 1-0 lead over the Lightning to start the third period. Tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning telecast in Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. And Chief, beautiful here. Cold, but beautiful. We saw the end of the Winter Carnival, their annual festival here in downtown St. Paul.
Yeah, some nice ice sculptures that they took
Beautiful.
away. They came in the middle of the night and took them away, Rick. They weren't there when this morning. We came for the morning skate.
Well, they're not melting. We know that.
No, that happens in July.
Well, Ben Bishop ready to go. John Cooper ready to go. We've had a little reunion of the Lightning championship team of 2004 in this trip. Daryl Sador on the assistant coaching roster for this team. Talk about that in a moment. Ben Clymer in the house. Play held in. Radko Gudas shooting, and a save there by Darcy Kemper. Valtteri Filppula, whom Paul and Dave talked about considerably in that intermission, and he's played just under 15 minutes to lead the Lightning ice time parade. Out there to start this third period. Jared Spurgeon couldn't make a play. Good play by Brown coming back. Spurgeon, though, comes up with it. Stays with it. Hooks it in front. They score! Danny Heatley popped it home. And Minnesota's got a 2-0 lead.
"34 seconds in, a takeaway. Lightning getting control of the puck, and then they just stripped the puck away. Hedman and Brown kind of got crossed up in the signals there, and then look at the great position that Heatley got. Gudas was there, but Heatley stepped around and came back to the middle of the net and just reached out and put it home for his 11th of the year to give the Wild a 2-0 lead here very quickly into this third period. Third period statistically has been the best period for this Wild club. They're a +6, and every other period they're a minus in goal differential.
Well, Heatley been mired in a goal-scoring slump with 1 in 16 games, but he scored in his return to Calgary the other night in their last game. And now he's put goals together in back-to-back games. Lightning trying to respond. That puck is batted down the air by Keith Ballard. And we'll get the whistle on the icing called against the Wild. Let's have a look at our chase review through 40 minutes.
Well, you see the shots and scoring chances just about even. It seemed like there was much more from Minnesota, but the power play was the big difference until Heatley scored here at 34 seconds. The face-off circle a little bit better for the Wild. Not a whole lot, but better. But Jason Spurgeon coming back after missing 14 games. Rick's got 2 assists already.
Filppula leaves that puck for Purcell. Quick shot, and it's sent wide. Comes back to Victor Hedman. Puck is played off the glass. It ends up out of play, and the linesman indicated deflected off the glass, so there's no penalty upcoming.
Make that Jared Spurgeon, not Jason. So he missed quite a bit there with a foot and ankle problem, and he was the one that pickpocketed Brown. Took the puck, fed it to Heatley very nicely for his 11th to give this Wild a 2-0 lead.
Mikael Granlund out against Johnson. Tyler taking a shot off the foot toward the end of that second period, but he's okay to go and loses a rare face-off there as he was 8-2 in the circle in the first 2 periods. Puck is backhanded out of the air by Granlund just wide. He gets it once again. Works against Victor Hedman. Down he goes. Parise got it out in front. Backhanded by Pominville off a skate in front. Andre Palat ahead for Marty St. Louis. Marty looking to dump it in, and he does so. Tampa Bay changing on the D with Gudis and Carl coming out. Here's Palat circling. Able to keep that puck on the line, even though he was dropped to his knees. Gudis with a shot. It's deflected. And Suter grabs it.
I'll tell you, Granlund just tripped Nate Thompson as he was trying to get into the slot area.
Granlund leaving it. Parise back to Granlund, back to Parise, and he was canceled out on a nice defensive play by Thompson. Brodin gets there in time. And the Parise, he's checked there by Malone. As Ryan told Paul and Dave, went to college not far from here, Lake Superior State. And has spent many an off-season back here in Minnesota as the puck was deflected with a high stick. The Lightning next to control. The draw coming up in their zone. See the Lightning for only $10 a ticket in the Coke Zero Zone. Coke Zero Zone seats are available for all Lightning home games. Plus, you get a free 12-ounce Coke Zero with your purchase. Order now at Ticketmaster.com or by calling 800-745-3000. Filppula on this face-off. Lightning get control. Well, Chief, the Lightning, up until that quick goal here to start the third, they were just one shot away. Now down 2-0. What do they got to do?
Well, they've got to start moving their feet a little bit better. You know, right now, anytime they've gotten in there, Minnesota's done a really good job of getting on them, limiting their time and space. And they've done a good job of protecting their blue line as well. So I think they've got to start getting in here a little bit more.
Brewer kept that one on the line. Knocked down by Prosser to his partner Ballard. And Filppula knocked it out of the air. Was the next to control. The faceoff comes out to center. Filppula injured early in that game in Ottawa with a lower body injury. Missed the game in Montreal. His first game he's missed this year. And back in there and getting a heavy dose of ice time tonight.
I asked him before the game, Rick, how he felt. He says, well, I'll soon know. So he has had, as you pointed out, a ton of ice time, so he must be feeling pretty good.
Wasn't making any promises.
No, he wasn't.
Zucker flattened on the hit by Thompson just as he released the puck. Keith Aulie ahead for Brown. Thompson pressuring that D. And in to follow up, it's Kucherov. Matched up with Suter. Brown in there digging for it for the Lightning. Coyle got it free. However, it's backhanded in front by Aulie. Here's a shot by Thompson, a save by Kemper. Lee Thompson, a 2-goal effort in Montreal, trying to add to that. Here's a shot that Coyle tipped wide of his own net. And Thompson looks to center. Kucherov fires over the net. Boy, that was on his stick for just a second. But he misfired. He's had 2 or 3 chances in this game as that puck ends up out of play.
Yeah, he's had trouble picking the corners of the net. He's getting it away very quickly. We saw in that second period there, he had a couple of really good chances all along and got it right into him. But you got to really give the young Darcy Kuemper a lot of credit. He's been making some big saves for them at the key times.
Kuemper's 23 years old. 6th-round draft pick from 2009. He's 6'5", 205 pounds. Niederreiter. The play to Cook. Couldn't get the shot away. And Palat checked him from behind. Worked the puck free. And Cook responds with a slash that ends up being called a trip at 4:14. And perhaps the Lightning can make him pay for that and open the door.
4:14 as Rick points out. Lightning's second power play opportunity. Watch. Comes in there. Nice play by Palat. And there it is, the shot to the skates. And maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, that would have been on across the knee pad. But nonetheless, the Lightning will get their second opportunity with a man advantage. And they really need one here.
Now Johnson, Purcell, Filppula, Hedman, and St. Louis, the crew out there. And the Wild come up with a puck. Eric Halda steaming down the wing, cuts to the middle and shoots. And Bishop tested there, comes up with a big stop. Purcell. He'll chip it in off the glass. Kemper takes a look. Gets a feel for the traffic. Sending it off the stick of Purcell, and Ryan Suter is able to skim it down the ice. Shots 24 apiece to this point of the game.
Wild have only scored 2 shorthanded goals. They're near the bottom in that category, but boy, they had a great chance to get their third.
Purcell picks up that pass. Hedman Leads it there at the line. Worked away by Parise. He's going to chase down the puck. He's also got Mitchell in the zone. He'll shoot, and a save by Bishop. Stopped the rebound, holds the post, and St. Louis gets the puck away finally to Tyler Johnson. On the break with Valtteri Filppula. The pass to St. Louis just off the toe of his stick. Curled it back toward the net. Prosser had it taken away by Purcell. Hedman fires, and he sends it wide. Filppula. Chased there by Brodin out near the line. And it's cleared down the ice by Prosser. With a penalty time at 33 seconds.
Yeah, they're Minnesota's been all over them. They've been much more aggressive, much more assertive on the puck carrier and puck retrieval as well.
Matt Carl feeds it through the middle, looking for Kucherov. 9 seconds to go on the penalty. They just missed there. The Lawrence pass was blocked by Suter, chopped away by Brodziak, and the Wild will escape this shorthanded situation as Cook returns, and Minnesota's got its 2-0 lead intact. Kucherov muscled off the play there by Ballard. Brodin ahead for Zucker. Eric Brewer will take it.
And Minnesota outshot them 3-0 on that power play.
Nate Thompson couldn't get it by Brodin. Nice move to avoid the checking of Palat. Sanos settles a puck down. His pass just barely touched by Palat. Ballard forced behind the net by Thompson. Granlund's pass to Zucker. He gets it back. Double team, still has it. Bishop takes a look. He's hurried in there by Jason Zucker. Gudas stepping ahead of the attack. Into that zone. And he was knocked down from behind by Coyle. Heatley coming back for it. Suter. Checked by Crombie. Pass ahead for Zucker. He'll carry it to center. Drives it into the Lightning zone. Carl trying to catch up to it. Does so to Gudas. He's met by Suter. Pominville in there. And Pominville throws the hit, but Carl has the puck. The lead pass for Nikita Kucherov. Steps in against Ryan Suter. Cuts to the middle. And makes the play to Carl. His shot was deflected. Picked up side of the goal by Pominville. Brown comes up with it. Kemper slows it up. Prosser will take it. We've hit the 8-minute mark here of the third period. Minnesota has added to its lead on the early goal by Heatley from Spurgeon at the 34-second mark to make it 2-0. Barberio back for the Lightning. Palat sends it off Brodziak. It comes all the way back to Darcy Kemper, and he'll sweep it aside for Brodin. Niederreiter, who got the game-opening goal of the man advantage, over for Cook, bounced away to Barberio. Lead pass for St. Louis, and it got away from him. Brodin handles it. He'll send it off the boards, back through center. Lightning have to play it. Bishop will do so. Hedman couldn't take it. Cook playing it back to Niederreiter. Playing it out of Spurgeon, chopping it as he had wound up committing on the one-timer, and the puck worked out of the slot by Hedman. Suter plays it right back in there. Crombie on for the Lightning. He'll reverse it to Barberio. Sidesteps the hit from Cook. Crombie sends it across for Palat. And Suter stepped up on him. Hedman is a man cutting through. It's Thompson. And Haula takes it away. Haula trying to work it toward the net. Forced back of the goal by Hedman. Playing it back of the point to Prosser. Barberio takes it, and he'll slide it up the boards, and icing waved off. Kemper fires it up the glass, knocked down by Crombie, shooting, it's deflected on goal, and Kemper makes a pad save. Salo with it. Now, as the net dislodged with Malone involved with Ballard and Kemper out in front, we get a stoppage in play midway through the third. The Wild in front by 2.
Wild up by 2, as you see there, the time remaining, and the assistant coach Daryl Sador of the Minnesota Wild. Of course, guy that has been credited with getting him when Jay Feaster made a trade for him from Columbus before the deadline. He came over, and the Lightning went on to win the Cup. You see what his career, he won 2 Stanley Cups. You see 99 with the Stars and 04 with the Lightning, and 1,200 games, just short of 1,300.
Chief talked to him this morning. He was talking with reporters about that championship team, and he said, boy, that team was on autopilot. That was a well-oiled machine. He said, by the time I got there in late January, they just won that game in Calgary. Here's a steal. Johnson to St. Louis. Saved by Kemper. Stop the rebound by Palat.
Wow, it got behind, but I think Ryan Suter got in there and knocked it away as it got there. They had a couple of pretty good chances, probably the best ones they'd had. One-timer by Marty got it in there, and then the rebound opportunity, and Daryl Suter was behind there and just shot it away as it was wide open on that goal crease.
On the face-off, they battle for it. Spurgeon comes away with it. Tipped in by Niederreiter. Hedman moving it along. Johnson playing it to Palat. And this line with a couple of chances. Now Hedman in deep in the attacking zone, unable to center. Spurgeon got low on him and got some leverage. He's not very big.
Nobody read the play quite well there, because usually when you're a D-man, you kind of just stay at the side when you look like you're odd man, but he went right to Hedman, noticing that Hedman had his back to the play, wasn't sure where he was going to go with it. So you take a look at this last chance. Well, the overhead. Look at right here as you see the shot. Then the second shot comes in by Palat, and he just right there. And there you see Suter getting his stick on it and then firing it through the pads and out the other way, all the way down. They got an icing, but they saved the goal.
Well, you don't see the puck fired out of that with that velocity through the legs of your own goaltender. No, very often. Whatever it takes. Coyle. Pass hit Filppula, bounced back toward the Wild net. Brodin gets it to Prosser right there. Carl, he tried to make a quick play to Filppula. And away comes the Minnesota with Zucker swinging wide. Plays it across to Coyle. Fires in front for Heatley just by his stick. Annie Heatley, a 2-time 50-goal scorer. He knew where right to go. And the pass here to Zucker shooting, and he chips it over the net. He had a backhand that missed the net on a breakaway earlier. Here's a try by Ballard, and that's deflected by Filppula over the netting into the crowd as the Wild lead 2-0.
Well, you see the time and score, 2-0 Wild. Let's take a look at how they got to this point in this game. And it was in the first period where the Lightning took a power penalty, and then 9 seconds later, the first shot on goal right there from Spurgeon, and the rebound was there. Niederreiter in to knock it past Ben Bishop for his 10th to give them the early lead. Then this one here on a takeaway by Spurgeon again at 34 seconds into this third period. He fed Danny Heatley. Heatley got good position, deflected it home for his 11th. And it's a 2-0 Wild lead, and we have 8:30 left in regulation.
Suter into Parise behind the net. They've got Pominville in front, along with Granlund. As Parise battling for that puck, Granlund bodied by Tyler Johnson, who played him well to work the puck free to Brewer. Barberio shovels it ahead just out of Kucherov's reach. And Johnson takes it. Johnson on between Kucherov and Brown. The pass to Kucherov is just behind him. And the Wild turn it right around. Parise will chip it in. He's in on Brewer. Brown fires it across to Kucherov. He's been a threat in this game for the Lightning. And a stick handle in front. Got tangled up with Ballard. Down he went. Parise playing it back to center.
Minnesota right now looks like that prevent defense. They've really just lined it up, and they've controlled that neutral zone a lot of this third period.
Malone, good work to pry the puck free. Crombeen, though, surrounded by Wild players, makes it to the corner. Around for Ollie, who's in deep now. And the puck comes bouncing side of the goal. Thompson contesting for it there. It's knocked in front. Malone trying to center it. It hit the side of the goal. Thompson works against Brodin. Howler will chip it out. Hedman watched here by Torrey Mitchell. The pass to Thompson. He's got St. Louis with speed in the zone. Shooting. Knocked down by Kemper. Couldn't grab it. Malone right there for it. And St. Louis in traffic spins off a check. Wedged off by Suter. Lightning holding it in with Malone back down the boards for St. Louis. Gets it in front. Thompson with a shot that's deflected. Hedman fires. Breaks the stick. Kemper trying to cover. And he does to get a whistle. Darcy Kemper has been excellent, but the Lightning, boy, they've had chances, and that's kind of been their night, Chief, where you get an opportunity and Hedman breaks his stick.
I know. We've seen that a couple of times, and boy, right here, he took a whole lot off of it. Couldn't get any lift on it, but Kemper got over there very quickly. This young guy's been pretty solid in here, as we pointed out. It's his 11th consecutive start, and he's been 6-2-2 since January 1st, so he's come on and it's given them some pretty good quality starts.
That includes his only NHL shutout. That was against Nashville back on January the 12th. This is his 20th career NHL game. He had seen action in 17 games with their American League affiliate in Iowa earlier in the season. Spurgeon moving it to Brodin by his stick, taken by the Lightning. St. Louis right back in action. Gudas playing it back to St. Louis. Tried toward the net. Tip. They score! Deflected in by Filppula out in front. And the Lightning are on the board. 6:07 to go in the third.
Wow, just kind of like a very slowly developing play, but getting the puck through and getting it into the front of the net. Filppula picks up the goal, but watch, is the nice passing play. Marty waits and then finds that shot come in. Filppula getting it, and as he's turned, he got it off the heel of his stick. Watch, perfectly deflected, just over the pad. He's down in the butterfly. He got enough lift on it to get it over that right pad to go into the net, and the Lightning are within one now. With 6:07 left to play here in regulation.
Couple of milestones there. Valtteri Filppula hits the 20-goal mark for the second time in his career. And Marty St. Louis picks up his 966th point, breaking a tie with Rocket Richard for 85th on the all-time scoring list. So Marty has moved past the great Rocket Richard. Heatley has the puck. Prosser playing it out to center, bouncing puck, and Carl got a piece of Zucker. It's a good thing because the puck bounced over the blade of his stick. Gudas, the second assist on the goal, and we'll get an icing called against Tampa Bay. We believe Lightning can strike twice. We believe in family traditions. We believe only one place can turn superstars into legends. Tickets on sale now at Daytona500.com. More life on that Tampa Bay bench. Johnson wins the faceoff, Chief.
This is where you got to step up your puck retrieval. Minnesota's been doing a good job of not allowing the Lightning to get that puck back. But now you got a fair amount of time, 5 minutes actually.
Spurgeon playing it out ahead for Granlund at center. He cuts in along with Pominville. They're on with Parise. Parise with the puck. Checked by Saddle. Poked free by Thompson. And it ends up on the stick of Andre Palat. Victor Hedman. And in the poke check by his fellow countryman, Jonas Brodin. Pominville back for Minnesota. And Eliza down the boards. Barberio gets it to Alex Killorn. Alex, a goal and an assist in the last couple of games. Hedman says he's got things under control. Watched by Mitchell now with 4.5 to play in the third. Hedman, long pass, relayed now by Thompson to Killorn. He'll shovel it in that Minnesota zone. Suter with it. Playing it back well out of the reach of Veilleux. And we'll get the icing called here against the Wild.
So it's time now for our Diamond Performance of the game, brought to you by Ackerman Jewelers. And that point, as you pointed out, Rick, Marty St. Louis, he got that assist to put him past Maurice Richard, the Rocket, into sole possession of 85th in the all-time scoring race. That nice little play right there, and a great deflection by Valtteri Filppula to give the Lightning within one.
Bouncing puck just eluded Purcell. And now it's played out to center. Gudas with it. He'll backhand it in the attacking zone where the Lightning are looking a little more comfortable. Suter playing it back around for Niederreiter. It's by him. Matt Cook racing for it. Back for Niederreiter. Spins off the Gudas check. Leaves that puck in the corner. Gudas pokes it along to Carl. Gudas looking to wheel out along with Purcell. Suter has it back for Minnesota. Controlled by Carl, and he spun it around for Barberio, who just stepped on the ice. He'll play it ahead to St. Louis. Played it back to Purcell, and Carl's got to retrieve it once again. Ryan Malone gets the red line. He'll chip it straight down the boards and take on Keith Ballard. Barberio right there with Niederreiter, forcing him to make another play, and he'll go to Brodin. The youngster skating it into the Lightning zone. Malone heads back of the goal, catching up to it. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Brown to center for the Lightning. And the play whistle down offside as Crombeen was ahead of the play. Valtteri Filppula, his 20th goal from St. Louis and Gudas, the Lightning on the board. It's time to vote in the Steak and Shake 3 Stars of the Game Twitter poll. And Ben Bishop, he's a permanent resident, it seems, of that hashtag TBL1 position. Valtteri Filppula with a goal. Danny Heatley's got a goal. Spurgeon 2 assists. Darcy Kemper's been strong. So make your votes, and we'll have the results in Lightning Live postgame, brought to you by Mazda.
Well, you talked a lot to Tyler Johnson about that Jared Spurgeon. He had a lot of good things to say, Rick, and I'll tell you what, he's been very impressive here tonight. First game back after a lengthy injury.
Yeah, just 5'9". Here's a pass now to Palat, shooting a save by Kemper. Palat gets it back. Feeds it to the point to Hedman. Johnson on this line for the Lightning, working with Killorn. And Palat, who leads it. Killorn shoots it, a save by Kemper. Alex Killorn got all of that one. Bouncing puck to center.
That might have been his best one of the game. Wow.
Hedman fires it to Killorn. Swings in, trying to feed it through. Coyle got a stick on it. Palat feeding it back to Gudas. Looks for an angle to get that toward the net. It hit Parise and bounced out of play.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude, when you take a look, they just handed it right. He just wheeled and just took that shot, and it was going for that corner. And Kemper just got his blocker on it. And it kind of fooled him, I think, in the sense that it came at that hard. I don't think he expected that velocity on that shot.
Scoring chances even at this point in the game. The Lightning coming on. John Cooper's juggled some combinations. St. Louis now out with Filppula and Teddy Purcell. And Mikael Granlund on that faceoff. Carl with a shot knocked down. St. Louis shoots, and Kemper had to make a save. Purcell tied up behind the net. Granlund battling with him there. Brodin trying to slide it up the boards. Parise couldn't chip it out. Held in by Carl. Getting it now to St. Louis as Bishop starting toward the bench, but he hangs on. It's a good thing he's able to step up and play that puck to St. Louis. And the Lightning now get an extra skater on. Parise shooting, missing the open net. Gudas takes it. Throwing it back to Carl. Out comes Filppula. Great move. Stick handles through. Hangs on to it. Feeds it across. Salo with it. He's got Kucherov toward the net. St. Louis around the vicinity, and Marty peels off to take that pass. A minute to go. Lightning with an empty net and 6 skaters on. St. Louis waits, trying to feed it through, deflects. Hedman shoots, hits the side of the goal, curled in front, stopped there by Kemper, and the try by Kucherov. And it's bounced down the ice. We'll get a call against the Wild for the icing.
Wow, I'll tell you what. You know what's really impressive to me when you take a look at Kucherov gets out there, he wants that puck in these situations. And he just turned and fired it just off the side of that Victor Hedman. Look at that, just hit the side of the net, just grazing that post.
Not unusual in a one-goal game to have a lot of close calls, but boy, the Lightning have really had some here. Hedman's had a couple of them. He's got the puck right now, looking for room to shoot, gets it through, save, rebound, Johnson at the goal post, worked away by the Parise, and he got it by the stick of Hedman. Salo giving chase, gets to it. 30 seconds to go. Hedman rifles the pass off the stick of Killorn. It's eased back out by Suter to avoid icing. Hedman takes it. 20 seconds to go. Boy, Tyler Johnson hit the goal post on that rebound. The Lightning hope for another chance here. Palat had it taken away from behind by Brodziak. 8 seconds to go. Hedman, he'll have to drive it from center. Kemper gloves it, sets it aside. Brodziak with it, off the boards. They'll get it out. That'll do it. Darcy Kemper and the Wild hang on for a 2-1 victory. Outshot 35-26 unofficially. Here's another look at that play.
Boy, nice job by Killorn to keep Suter there. There comes a shot come here, and then right here, right off the post. Rebound coming here. Everybody going to the net. There you see Tyler Johnson, who is usually so accurate in that position and in that close.
So the Lightning go home with a 1-3 record on the trip. And the Wild win their 4th straight here on home ice and enhance their chances for a wild card spot in the Western Conference. The Lightning home for 2 before the Olympic break. The Leafs on Thursday, the Red Wings on Saturday. Lightning Live postgame presented by Mazda's coming up.